Hello, this is Baron von Richthofen. We're going to watch a replay sent in by Whitest Asian. It's a competitive match for the New Egg tournament, I believe. And it is Team PG versus Curse, maybe? Yes, it is Curse. So, as we get into the match, we see that Curse is running Alistar and Vayne bottom. Very aggressive bot lane. You know, Alistar definitely has that easy killing potential, and Vayne has all the damage in her disable as well. So that'll be really threatening. Irelia is going to be top lane. Nocturne's jungling, and Zillion's in the mid. We'll talk about that in a second. For Team PG, they have Lee Sin in the jungle. Caitlyn and Soraka are going to be bots, so you know, still good, some good damage with Caitlyn, but a very defensive lane, and Soraka's silence will definitely help counter Alistar to a degree. Then we have Brand mid, and Tryndamere is going to be top. You don't see a lot of top lane Tryndamere in competitive play. He is, you know, definitely a viable champion. You do see him a lot in solo queue and stuff like that. Now, some of his strengths are that he's going to have some, you know, really strong lane sustain with his heals, and that's interesting. We have the tiny scoreboard, but he's going to have strong lane sustain, and if he gets a couple of crits, he could very quickly take anyone down. So I think generally Irelia is going to have the advantage because she's a little bit tankier and a little bit more bursty. But if Tryndamere plays it right, gets a couple of crits, he could out-sustain Irelia and definitely shut her down early. Fortunately, she does have the teleport there, so she will be able to be aggressive throughout the game. Now, Zillion as the mid, you don't see Zillion a lot, but you do see him occasionally, and he is actually a very strong competitive pick in some team comps. Now, the strength of Zillion, one, he's a really strong solo lane champion, but then once he's, you know, building some great AP, he's going to have all these bombs that he can throw off in the fight. So he's not the highest damage dealer, but he does have some good damage. But his biggest strength is his ultimate, as everyone knows. And when you can just throw that ultimate on like Irelia and let her just run into the enemy team, or maybe even Nocturne, you know, they'll do their damage. They don't have to worry so much about the burst of like Brand and Lee Sin. They're both very, you know, bursty champions. Lee Sin and Nocturne in the jungle should be pretty interesting. They're both very strong junglers, very strong gankers. Nocturne, a little bit slower, not with the jungle. He jungles just fine, but a little bit slower at getting out ganks usually, so Lee Sin might be a little more aggressive early. But generally, two fantastic-looking team comps. So we look at items. Nocturne has not bought his items yet. He's AFK in base? What? Oh, sorry, they didn't CV Nocturne. You see Lee Sin has his cloth, so not really sure what path he's going to be doing. I wouldn't be surprised to see him start off at mini golems. It's pretty common, and then it'll allow him to get out a quick level 2 gank on top lane, which could be very aggressive. The CV goes off. They are not going for their blue, so I don't know if Nocturne is running a small camp path and they're staying away from the blue. But they should watch out because they might actually be coming up into this jungle, and they are pinging right there. They might be thinking that Lee Sin's starting off at mini golems, which is pretty common, and there they are. You see they are coming up very aggressively into this top jungle. Lee Sin's got to watch out that he doesn't get pinched around the side. They are going to back out, so there shouldn't be any troubles there, but maybe Lee Sin's jungle will be slowed down a little bit. Depending on how long they want to delay up here, they might take Lee Sin's red, just to kind of shut down his early ganks, though that does slow down bot lane. So they are just going to take the Wraiths and then head out, probably. So Lee Sin now is going to have the option of starting with blue, which is, you know, you might think he's a manaless jungler and a manaless champion, but it does help with his energy regen and then also cooldown reduction. So with blue buff, he can just spam his abilities all day and clear the jungle very quickly, so it's definitely strong, even on a manaless champion. Excuse me. And now, Brand mid does have excellent damage output, and he does have his disable, so if he gets the disable onto Zillion, he should be able to, you know, very quickly burn him down and potentially win that lane. But Zillion has the benefit of the great range, and then once Zillion hits level 6, you know, that's when most champions in a solo are looking to be strong. But Zillion can run up bomb, and if you want to be aggressive, Zillion is coming in the gank. He threw off the Q a little bit too early. He could have just run off and used his slow He does get the slow off this time. Brand is not in position. They are coming up. Zilean does have to use his flash, so the flash is burned. Very aggressive gank. I'm not sure about the ganking path, but it did work out. He's probably going to steal the Wraiths. He is coming back in for another go at it. He hits the Q. Is he going to get the slow? He does not get the slow off. So Zilean's going to be okay, but very early, Brand is in control of this lane. He throws off the E, he throws down the W, and he gets the first blood with the Ignite. Excellent job by Brand flashing into that Zilean for the kill. Fairly even lane right now, top, but Irelia is kind of exerting her strength over Tryndamere because he's got to play off the creeps, so he's not farming as effectively as Irelia is, and also not getting those crits and those kills, you know, to spam that heal. And that's one of the big things you need to do against Tryndamere, is try and keep him off the front line. Caitlyn did get a trap in this bush, so that's really good. Once you want to maintain bush control against Alistar, and you see they also did ward up here for an early Nocturne gank. But now Soraka did actually put a ward in the bush, which, you know, trap or ward, that's really what you want to do. Alistar is someone who really likes to maintain control of the brush, but he actually has a pink ward of his own. I did not realize that he bought one in the beginning. So Alistar uses a pink ward to counter the brush. Very aggressive play. But as long as Caitlyn keeps on dropping those traps in there, she should be okay. And Zilean and Nocturne actually killing Lee Sin up in the jungle here. I saw a little action, but I thought Lee Sin had gotten out. But the that last bomb